but they must feel that there's a way forward, and you cannot be using the shade of your skin to prevent you from moving forward in that way. The narrative has to be changed.
Denise?
Yeah, I think there is, okay, as you were saying, Sunda, for many younger people, opportunities there are many more opportunities open to them, right? Then they can see more open doors than there may have been in the past. There's still plenty of closed doors as well. And sometimes you got to wait a few years before you encounter the shut doors. But also, and I'm going to, touch on a touchy subject, because I think we've seen this in the US. They've kind of gone a bit further down the road with this. We have to recognise that the thing that my dad was talking about class as well as race, is a factor, right? There may be people who are doing great in the arts, in all kinds of fields. Great for them, great for me, you might say. I had an academic career. But a lot of people are still with their face up against a hard place, right? Struggling and cannot move forward. And Sylvia, Caribbean writer Sylvia Winter, she after the LA riots in '91, I think that was, she wrote a letter.
No humans involved.
An article that went out to her African American studies scholars, right? I mean, I come from a Black studies background, so that's what I'm talking about. And that letter that she wrote came out of the LA riots, and she was saying, well, you've all got these lovely jobs in academia now. You're writing about racism. You're writing about all aspects of the African American experience. But have you lost sight of the real agenda here, right? Because while that's going on in downtown LA, where a black man can be murdered, be shot on the street, there's a gulf that's opening up, and we can't let that continue. So I think that, and so that's part of a kind of a tension, as you use the word tension. It is a real tension, and we can't assume that every black person's having the same experience or has the same desires for themselves. And one of the things that's very clear to me, and something that I'm thinking about in some of my work now, is W.E. Du Bois, at the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century, said the problem of this 20th century would be the problem of the colour line, and it was, right? Anti-colonial struggles, civil rights struggles, anti-racism struggles, and to me it was like the issue, the problem of the 21st century still remains the problem of freedom. What does it look like? And the reality is we don't all see freedom in exactly the same way. For some people it's getting a big job, big house, money in the bank. Some it's being a celebrity, some it's just being able to feed their kids. And I think within black politics, we are coming to kind of a similar moment as in America, where we're having to face up to the differences amongst ourselves about what is it we want? What looks like liberation? What looks like freedom for black people? And I think we need to have that discussion at some point.
I mean, before we go to yours in a second, just go to Patrick again, because there could be an example of success or progress with regards to the called Windrush Day, which is just yesterday, or the day before our was. And Windrush Day didn't exist 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So Patrick, you were part of that whole.
Well, Windrush did exist
In the
actually.
90s.
I mean, Sam King was the founder of Windrush Day, and he used to organise events in Brixton. Jessica, Eric Huntley, they organised Windrush Days in Ealing back in the day, and there were a number of church services happening. It was a community thing. I mean, after making a charm knife, and I was asked by the Guardian, I wrote an article in the Guardian about a year or two after I made the film, and I said, why can't we have a public holiday called Windrush Day? I just wrote an article. You've got Labour Day, you've got Martin Luther King Day, and then I got approached by various people saying, that's a good idea. Why couldn't we do a campaign about it? And we started officially the campaign 2013, working with Sunda from British Futures. Got Sam King, he got involved. When we did a photo call outside when they were still building the BCA, if you remember, Sunda. And Sam was there with his granddaughter Dion, and we officially launched the campaign 2013. we did letters and the Times. We had the emotions. Every year we used to go to Woodbridge Square, do a 2-minute silence and lots of activities. And then unfortunately, it took the Woodbridge scandal. Actually, we should stop using the word Woodbridge scandal. We should say the Home Office scandal, because seriously, because it kind of besmirched the Woodbridge generation and their contributions, and also things like what Lorna's done and what I've done, and other people have done, and what you've done too, Tony, to be quite honest, and your academic research work. So, I think I think the key issue is it's a double-edged sword, because